Yeah, I would have loved to learn that backstory, but whatever. Because that sounds pretty cool. Oh yeah, that's right. Lol, what?
What the hell? He's been blown up by a remote bomb!
At ease, soldier.
Look, whatever. I've got 5 more people here looking forward to killing you jackasses. My support group, Victims of Vault Hunters, booked a conference here the same weekend you did, and we're all just aching to get back at you jerkwads. Just do me a favor and find the next guy who's gonna kill you because he's not responding to my messages.
I believe this next one is us.
Something about a warrior from the sky near their village. Perhaps you should investigate.
I believe this one is for Gaige, so I'll try and shut up for the most part as they give some backstory on Gaige, which will be cool because we haven't gotten any backstory on Gaige. It's cool that they introduced her and have, you know, carried over with some backstory for her. They've actually made her a part of the DLC.
Do you remember Marcy Holloway? Because her Uncle Grill certainly does. He's here to avenge his niece in the most violent way possible. So, you know, be ready for that.
Ah, yes. I've seen one of these totems before. You'll need to offer a sacrifice to get past it. I recommend a mask from one of their witch doctors. I'm sure those chaps wouldn't mind loaning you one.
But we can't pick up the ones that we've seen, you know, around the camp. Because, you know, Borderlands. Let's just kill someone instead of grabbing these. Whatever. But yeah, so Gaige's backstory is pretty interesting because it sounds like we killed a girl named Greasy. I'm not sure how, or if it was an accident or what, but their relatives still are pissed off at us, which means it was probably a very, very bad thing. I mean, not only because we killed, you know, one of the relatives, but, I mean, that is bad, but I think it's like something, maybe it was with our robot, I don't know. Maybe it was a failed experiment. Especially like speculation, I would have liked to have known what the actual fuck I did to these people. And this is what happened to our assassin. Jeez, that's a lot of blood.
What the? Did he fall from the sky? Did his transit shuttle malfunction, or what the hell?
Ha! Suck it, Holloway family! Even if your hitman hadn't fallen out of the sky for some weird-ass reason, I would have taken him out anyway! I killed handsome friggin' Jack! You think one little assassin can take me down? Booyah! Also, sorry I killed your daughter.
Man, who the hell is killing all of my would-be assassins? Whatever, I got more. Go meet the next one!
That was when I... Okay, never mind. More people are talking. So that, when I heard her talk right there, I was like, I recognize that voice. I thought it was Nami from One Piece. Turns out it was Lucy from, Fairy Tail. God. As you can tell, not very good at remembering names, especially that one show, which I'm not sure why. I do kind of like the show, but I've just apparently always forget the title of it, and it really pisses me off that is a thing that I do. So yeah, it seems that our assassin fell from the sky. We do get an explanation of why. They don't give you an explanation for why each of the people have died in the way they have, but they do give us the explanation for Gaige, because we are playing as Gaige, which is why I think it kind of forces you to go back and play all the different characters, in order to figure out, you know, their backstory, who they're helping, who they're, why they're targeting people, you know, that sort of thing. Because, as Gaige said, right at the end, after she found out that her assassin had died, that she was sorry for killing the girl, but at the same time she was like, yeah, fucking come on, bring it. I'll still kill your assassin. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. And I believe... Yes, I'm still staring at the lava inject. I believe I figured out what that thing is in this video. And I believe now I'm going to be no-scoping some crabs. Just because I'm bored and feel like no-scoping something. And the crabs were the only thing I can kill in one shot. And they were close by. I think I missed one. Yep.
Maya, you'll like this next dude. He's a siren tracker named Mordo Sophis, father of brother Steven Sophis, that dude you ganked back on Athenas. And boy, oh boy, is he just itching for vengeance.
Unfortunately, the regular path is closed for repairs. You'll have to find an alternate route. Perhaps the machinery surrounding the water wheel could give you a boost?
Now, I looked at that pathway and I was like, oh, that doesn't mean anything to me. And I read it off, but I do have to use the little pump that was going up and down. This thing. So yeah, I do know a little bit about Maya, because I think I picked up one of her audio logs. From what I remember, she was on an island, and there was like a cult that believed that she was this like goddess, and people took advantage of her being a siren, and they're like, oh my god. And then I think they were extorting money, and she got pissed and killed everyone. Pretty sure that's how that went down, or something along those lines. I didn't pick up all the audio logs, which is why I kind of wish they would, give it to you in a different way.
Poisoned? What? Somebody is going around killing all the people I wanted to kill you, and that makes me very upset.
Poisoned beer. Bummer. Is it, weird that I just got thirsty all of a sudden? Probably weird. Seems weird.
Whatever, I got 3 more VOVH members, victims of Vault Hunters, still itching to kill you. Find the next one.
Invisible wall. Yeah. I was like, I could just jump to that invisible wall. Never mind. So yeah, this guy from Maya got poisoned. I'm not sure by who. I could probably look it up. Figure out who did what. But I won't spoil it until afterwards. The sun. Crawmerax. Dead assassins. Victims of Vault Hunters. Does it tell me who? What happened to each of them? Yes, apparently it is per person. And here is the treasure syringe that I found. So it looks like Axton got help from a staff sergeant. Oh no, from a person named Sarah. Okay, and then Maya got help from sincerely a friend. Wait, I elected the Siren Hunters through. Suffice to say, they involved a beer bottle and a straw that made straw made of anthrax. Good. I'm not sure who did that. Salvador got help from Abulia? Not sure who that is.
Named Blendo, and he wants to kill Salvador in order to avenge, 10, 16, everyone. You killed his entire bandit clan, Sally, all 150 of them.
Kree got a message from Sammy, and Zero got a message from 1. Yeah, that is the thing. Yeah, this guy got hanged, or hung, I guess. Hanged?
What? Who would? So angry!
Well, on the upside, at least he was saved the trouble of having to smell Sal in person. No offense.
Good wrecked.
2 assassins left, but they're probably dead as hell.
I love how he just gives up at this
Next
point.
guy.
Just doesn't care.
Probably friggin' dead already. Is a Hyperion scientist named Clements. He wants Krieg because you killed some dudes when you escaped or something. I don't even care at this point.
I would have loved to hear Krieg's story, but...
Great. Figures.
And that's why winners don't do drugs.
There's a bunch of syringes in them if you can't see.
One assassin left, Jagoffs. Just go find his corpse already. So yeah, I got no idea what's going on with this last guy. I think he wants Zero dead, but I didn't really understand anything he said.
So Zero is this sort of cryptic character that they don't really give much of any backstory to anyway, because he's supposed to have this assassin and like a cool, quiet dude. So they don't give him any backstory, especially in this one.
Surprising no one, he's dead too. I swear I am gonna figure out who did this.
That's weird.
Yes, yes it is.
I'm done getting chumps to do my dirty work. You find me, and I'll kill you myself for what you did to my dad.
Jeez, you sound like a whiny little bitch. I mean, your dad was an asshole. Let's just get that straight out of the way. Luckily, that leads to Sparky's. Yep, see, he agrees. So what I love is that they lead you directly to Sparky after finding Zero's assassin. I'm sorry, you're dead. What? I'm sorry. You sound like you got blood coming out of your mouth, or bullets. I can't tell which.
I've just received 6 text messages over the EchoNet, each addressed to one of you fine Vault Hunters. I imagine you'll want to hear them.
So those are the messages I was talking about. Well, here Gauges, which is why I didn't tell you that, because it is going to be interesting. But yeah, so I wish they would have told you each of the characters' backstory, because it does sound interesting. It's like some of the only backstory we ever get for the characters that are straight up given to us. It's not like we have to go on our own to go find backstory and audio logs scattered throughout the entire campaign. They're actually giving us like personalities and things like that. But I wish they would have like told us each and every one's message instead of just individual messages. Regardless, we are going to go back to Hammerlock, and along the way, I try out the treasure hunting Varkid, which I think I will be giving my final thoughts while we go hunt for the treasure, because I don't know how much time I've given myself to do that. It looks like quite a bit, so we shall see. But yeah, so that is the last mission, or is it the last mission? I think it is the last mission overall. I do check out the head that we got. This one, I don't think it's... I think it might be personalized per person, like the last one, except different... I don't know. I don't think there's too much of a difference. Really wish I could kill that guy in, like, midair. That would have been really cool. Sadly, not the case. Yeah, this skin's not too bad. Looks okay. So here is the treasure syringe. You injected, it was like 10 iridium, I think, to get this little guy. He's an adult Varkid, and for whatever reason, this guy doesn't blow up. Unlike the Varkid we had searching for Hammerlock, this guy just doesn't blow up or die at all until you find the treasure chest, which is pretty cool. So yeah, my final thoughts on the Headhunters. Overall, they weren't too bad. I don't know if they're worth $15, like, together, because they were only, like, 2 missions at most, maybe 3 or so. So they offer a little bit of content. They offer a boss fight. I recommend, if you're going to do them, either do them in the second playthrough or later on, or during the campaign. Don't do what I did and wait till after the game until you actually do them. I think I had a bunch of purples, and I was trying to get, like, all purple items, so I was just making sure I have everything, and that's a bad technical skin that I can then drop something in, you know, buy, or unlock it. Anyway, final thoughts. I'm not sure if they're worth $15 together. I will say the first one's cool because it has a little mini boss that you can go out of your way to find, as well as a few other things. Second ones, I'm not really sure, but I felt kind of weird that the entire DLC was pretty much sitting down next to Grandma Flexington. Let's be real. The entire portion of that was just Grandma Flexington taking the entire show. We barely talked to it with Torg. Wow, I blanked on that one.
Oddly,
here's the assassin, or
that the
assassin
deaths
mission.
of those 6 would-be assassins were bizarre coincidences acted upon by 6 separate allies of yours. Here, this message was addressed to you.
Dear Gaige, Dad here. Hope Pandora's fun. Heard Marcy's dad sent
Oh, it's
some
Marcy, not
mercenaries
Gracie,
your
whatever.
way, so I sabotaged their transport and... Oh my god, you are the best dad ever!
So yeah, that's the entire backstory for
You
her.
need not hesitate, friend.
And
Sure,
this
it will be
is...
fully credited in the dedication page of my almanac once it is published. To your name, it will say, without whom this book would not be as incredibly well-written and popular as it is, Santu's refusal of any and all subsequent royalties for their part in the book's production was very much appreciated. It'll be a very long page.
Yeah, so that is the last mission. We end on level 43, I believe. But yeah, so I think that will wrap up my time in Pandora. And I think now I'm just going to be unlocking parts of the map, just because I wanted a complete map, because I'm weird like that. So yeah, I can talk about my final thoughts. As I said, I'm not really sure if it's worth $15 to buy all of them, because, like I said, a lot of them are just like 2 or 3 missions long, and in the case of the Gobbler pack, it was just, the majority of it felt like you're just talking to Grandma Flexington, ramble on. The heads are pretty cool that they went out of the way to make little heads, although the heads were rather odd, and kind of, it didn't feel like they mattered, in a sense, because it wasn't like per person. It felt like it was more of a collective thing, like, oh, this head that looks exactly like Axton's wearing can be put on Gaige, and Maya has her own head that's exactly the same. I don't know if that is the case. At least looking at pictures, it does look like that's the case. Let's see, so I'm not really sure if they are different per person. I mean, they might be slightly different, but overall, like, different colors and whatnot, but I'm not really sure they change all too much. I think the skeleton has different, like, facial, or not the skeleton, but the snowman has different facial expressions, and the Mad Moxie one has different, you know, skin at the bottom, you know, like I showed off. But I'm not sure they added anything too horribly different. They did have different colored, like, skin colors. One of them was, I didn't find this, but Deathtrap's Little Helper, which would have been really cool to get. It's like a red and green, different colored scheme. Yeah, overall, I'm not really sure if it's worth. They do have different faces, so I guess they are technically different. So it doesn't look like they've changed too much of them. I guess they are technically different, but not sure if that's worth, you know, $3 a piece. If you do buy them, they do have some content. They're not like empty. They do offer some backstory, some much needed backstory on some of the characters, at least in this one. I would say if you're going to buy them, buy the first one, buy this one, and maybe Mad Moxie's. Although Mad Moxie's felt really kind of short. The Gobbler one wasn't too bad. Oh yeah, I need to show off the last skin. It's not the bone to pick, it's stuck on my craw. Yeah, there you go. That is our head. We have the face of a crab. Yeah, that is it. I would have really liked to have them themed for the character. So like this one has Gaige's like skin, which is probably my favorite out of all of them so far. But I would have liked to have them themed around the character instead of just having the boss's actual head on them. I don't know. That's just me being picky, I guess. Like if you could have had like Gaige with a robot head with like the claws coming out or something for the crab, or like a mechanical pumpkin or something. I don't know. Weird things like that, I guess. But yeah, so it's not a bad collection of DLCs. I wish there was a bit more to them, like an extra couple missions or something to keep me hooked, or, you know, I don't know, something else, something more. I felt that there should have been a little bit more. Maybe I'm just being a little picky, I don't know. But I do love the themes they had. The Halloween, the Thanksgiving, and the Christmas theme were really, really good. I didn't feel like Mad Moxie's had a pretty good theme, or at least one that felt relevant. It was a lot different from the other three, or from the first three. And Son of Crawmerax was pretty cool that they reintroduced Crawmerax. Yeah, so the themes were pretty good for the most part. The Mad Moxie ones, it's a little odd. But it's pretty good. So, I don't know. I both enjoyed it, but at the same time I didn't feel like there was enough. It's like I wanted to enjoy more of it, I guess. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad feeling. I guess it's really up to you. But they are pretty short. They're like it's anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour. And that's just if you run around as much as I did and, you know, not really do a thing. Or if you're going to listen to Grandma Flexington the entire time, then God bless you. You are one of the few people who will sit through that, like I. So, yeah. that will be it for Borderlands. I will probably be moving on to some other game. What it is exactly, I'm not really sure. I have a few ideas circulating in my brain. I kind of want to do something on the Xbox, but I'm not really sure exactly what, because my internet for the Xbox is an older generation where it doesn't have internet or internet access, already pre-installed. You have to buy an extension, and I don't know where the extension that my family had for their Xbox, because they got a new one, and I didn't, and for some reason, that wireless connector has vanished, and I need to find it, or buy a new one. If I have money. Now it's a big if. So yeah, look out for that. I don't know what I'm going to be doing next. I could do the Borderlands pre-sequel, but I'm kind of Borderlands out for the moment, because I went through Borderlands 1, 2, and all the DLC in between, and like I said, I don't have the DLC for Borderlands pre-sequel, and I don't know much about the Borderlands pre-sequel characters. I did see one of the additional characters that I kind of want to play as, which is why I want to buy the season pass, but it's really fucking expensive. $30 on Steam. It's like, jeez. I don't really see too much content in that. But that's a conversation for another time. Yeah, so I kind of want to come back to the pre-sequel, but I don't want to come back straight away. I kind of want to take a small break, sort of like what I did with the Dragon Age. I'll probably do something like that. How I broke up in between Portal and then the DLC, because I believe this will come out. Yeah, this will definitely come out between the DLC and Portal. So I'll probably throw something in here in between. Not sure what yet. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say to wrap things up. It's a Borderlands game. The loot system I've already talked about. Graphics are pretty good. Obviously, I've already talked about that in the main game. What else? What else Headhunter related can I talk about? The boss fights, I guess, are the important parts, considering that's what they're based off of. For the most part, they were pretty cool. The couples one was a really, really odd fight to have, just in general, because you're like, okay, we're at a wedding, and then they took off their helmets, and then we're fighting the couple, and you're like, lol, what? Why? But for the most part, they did have some pretty decent antagonists to fight. The boss fights weren't hard, one, because I'm over leveled, and two, they weren't like, there wasn't like a point where they knocked you to the ground and they did like a shit ton of damage where you're like almost dead. But they were interesting enough to be involving and, made you think about what's going to happen. Like the pumpkins growing bigger and exploding, and him summoning smaller pumpkins that would climb on him and heal him. That sort of thing, which I think is pretty cool. So the boss fights, the themes I've already talked about were really cool, except for Mad Moxie's. No, I'm kidding. The heads aren't too bad. I would have liked to have more more oriented heads that were based per character, like more of a techno theme with Gauges, an army theme with Axton. Maya could have like some weird sci-fi version of a pumpkin, like have like a weird spiral eyes, or I don't know, something interesting. Some sort of flair, What else? I think that's about it. The maps I can talk about, they were varying size. Most of them were pretty small, but they did offer quite a bit. There was a lot of secret areas you could find, a lot of little different things, like the treasure syringes in this one, which you can explore more, which I should have probably done, but I didn't think it would be interesting to watch me just go treasure hunt and run after Farkey to find, treasure that wasn't exactly the best. So, I don't know. They do offer some content. I feel like I'm talking shit about these things, but they do offer some content, so they aren't horrible. I do wish there was a little more to them, but that's just me being picky asshole. So, hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I will be returning to whatever I do next. I'm not sure yet. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Have a good day, night, evening, twilight, morning, afternoon. Whenever you're watching this, you time wizards, and I hope to see you when we return.